Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere Akim, teaching and truth and sincerity. Lesson will be entitled On Earth as It is in Heaven. Lord will, you are edified. Video was inspired by a video from Zaquan Manatazak. His Salakia, his YouTube page is GMS South Carolina '08. Subscribe and be edified. Video entitled Project Looking Glass. Esau wants to avoid his judgment.
So Project Looking Glass was a government operation to serve the elite class, to look into the future for the purposes of orchestrating the current state of being to shape whatever future they wanted. They could.
So the future that they want is what? Them attaining that birthright spoken of in Genesis, the 27th chapter.
Control the variables once they viewed the future.
The variables, meaning what? Certain events. Okay, so they're attempting to manipulate certain events so they can reroute the blessing, okay, going into the kingdom of heaven from the Israelites to the kingdom of heaven for the Edomites. This is what this shit is all about.
To ensure that certain outcomes played out. But what they saw horrified them. They did not like what they saw in the future.
What they saw, they did not like. Okay, so what did they see? The kingdom of Yahushua. Best believe, right? They saw Yahushua and the 144,000 ruling. They saw this great mountain ruling the world. They saw Israelites on top, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They saw all of this. See, she's leaving that out, okay? We know in the spirit also what else they saw. She knows who has next. The bitch is worried.
And no matter how they tried to manipulate it, there was no future outcome that served them. What they saw was all possible timelines led to a convergence.
All timelines leads to the kingdom of heaven on earth, okay? The kingdom of heaven on earth as it is in heaven. That's what they see. Okay, so all timelines, right? All timelines leads to the rulership of Yahushua. And that's it. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 9. After this manner, therefore, pray you, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done in earth as it is in heaven. All timelines leads to the rulership of the nation of Israel. Period. Psalm 110 and verse 1. The Yahweh said unto my Lord Yahushua, sit you at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. And also in the Greek, right, for footstool, you have two definitions. One going into when you have your foot on your enemy's throat, as well as having them subject to your rulership. Look it up. Revelation 20:4, and I saw thrones, and they sat on them, and judgment was given unto them. Okay, this is the government body of the kingdom of heaven, right? Or the kingdom of Yahushua. And I saw the spirits of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, this truth, and for the word of the Most High, this truth, and which had not worshipped the beast, sold out, neither his image. And the image is what? Okay, the system which is a reflection of the pagan Rome Empire, neither had received his mark, the microchip, in their foreheads or in their hands, and they live and reign with Mashiach 1,000 years. Also, 1,000 years is going into the establishment of the kingdom of heaven. Okay, because in the kingdom of heaven, no Israelite will ever die. Okay, and that's going into what? Hebrews, the 8th chapter, the new covenant. The laws, statutes, and the commandments will be implanted into us. So therefore, we will never die because we will never sin. Remember, according to the book of Romans, the wages of sin is death. Okay? And so if the wages of sin is death, then the wages of righteousness is life. You see the balance? All right. Now, Daniel 2 in chapter 45. This is going to how Daniel is breaking down Nebuchadnezzar's vision, right? Daniel 2 and 45. For as much as you saw that the stone, Yahushua, was cut out of the mountain without hands. Now, what does this mean? This is actually talking about the fathership that Yahushua is coming back in. This ship is so big that even in the book of Ezra, right, he cannot see where that ship started or ended. All right. So for as much as you saw that the stone was cut out of the mountain, this gigantic fathership that Yahushua will be coming in, okay, without hands, and that it broke in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold. The great power has made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure. This is a major point. Daniel is telling Nebuchadnezzar, that the dream or your vision is certain and, right, it is sure, meaning it's going to happen. And if you don't believe me, ask the elite bankers, okay, that are looking at their looking glass and see their future. They saw Yahushua ruling. This woman knows, okay, and she is worried. She is terrified. So again, let me read that again. Daniel 2 and 45, for as much as you saw that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it broke in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great Most High has made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure. Daniel 7 and 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Daniel 7 and 26. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it until the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, the Israelites, right? Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. If something is everlasting, means what? It is always continuous. It is always ongoing. Hence, your kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. So the kingdom of heaven is a duplicate or a replica of the kingdom of Yahweh, which is in heaven. Second Ezra, chapter 2 and verse 42. I, Ezra, saw on the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, Yahushua, taller than all the rest, Yahushua, and on every one of their heads he set crowns, meaning what? He's passing out crowns to the 144,000, and was more exalted, which I marvel at greatly, because it's his kingdom. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, meaning what? These new bodies. Remember, Yahushua said what? When he comes back, I will not meet you as a man, meaning that spiritual body, that extraterrestrial body. And therefore, the dynamic of having this body is the laws, statutes, and the commandments are implanted into us. So we will program, Salakia, we will be programmed to do all righteousness, right? No evil thought will ever come into our mind. Always righteous thoughts. He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, this flesh, and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High, and are, so like now are they crowned and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowns them and gives them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. And also, Ezra saw himself. Okay? And you know what? Let me change the title for my lesson to She Knows. She knows.
Meaning that no matter what timeline they rode, no matter what option, there was only one outcome. And that outcome...
And the outcome is what? The kingdom of Yahushua, or the kingdom of Israel. Okay? And by default, she saw her, but I'm not going to say her, but she saw Edomites, so-called white people, based on the lineage, right, of their fathers. She saw Edomites enslaved by the Israelites. She saw those other nations enslaved as well. See, this is what she's not telling you. Okay, she knows. She fucking knows. All timelines leads to what? The outcome of the kingdom of heaven on earth.
Vehicle breakdowns are costly, but with endurance, you could never pay out of pocket for a costly
blowing my mind.
All right, so this is a clip from, I want to say, the Avengers, right? Yup, the Avengers Infinity War. Doctor Strange looks into the future. All right, now, how is it that this clip and what old girl is saying, basically the same thing? Okay, peep game. So let me just play it.
Excuse me? But does your friend often do that?
Strange, we all right? Be back, you're all right.
Hey, what was that?
Went forward in time to view alternate futures, to see all the possible outcomes of the coming conflict.
How many did you see?
14,605,000.
How many did we win?
One.
And that's bullshit. Only in Esau's movies. Okay, so that incoming conflict is talking about what? The arrival of Yahushua, when the spiritual realm versus the earthly realm. And also in the book of Ezra, it states how Yahushua is he's going to run through them, right? So she knows. She knows. Revelation 12:12, therefore rejoice you heavens, and you that dwell in them, the spiritual realm. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, literal, and of the sea, the people. Revelation 17:15, for the devil is come down unto you, starting with who? The elite of Edom, these international bankers that control this entire system. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time to do what? Attain the new world order. And also for knoweth.
Strong's G 1492. Ido.
So how do these individuals know what will befall on them? Because according to this Greek according to a definition for this Greek term, which is again
Strong's G 1492. Ido.
To perceive with the eyes, meaning what? To perceive with the eyes. Their looking glass, right? And look what he's throwing. Okay? So Doctor Strange and that white lady both saw the same thing. And regarding the incoming conflict, okay, every angle showed them losing. Lord will, you were edified. Shalom.